I'm Megan. Thanks for being here. If you're new to my channel, remember to subscribe, and to my Patreons and those of you that leave me lovely comments, thanks for being here again with me. Today's practice is a practice for our joints. I've had a lot of joint soreness, and I actually created this one in bed one morning, and it's grown into a practice I want to share with you now. So it's great for all the joints, specifically arms and legs, but we'll also get into the torso. You won't need any tools today. We'll start lying down. We're going to do a seated version of it, and then we'll also do a standing version, which will bring in some balance and proprioception. So maybe you just want to do that part, decide what works for you. But we're going to start on our back side and come all the way down. And take a moment with your knees bent, your feet on the floor. Just in the somatics, it's really important to land first. We always want to connect with what's underneath us and what's supporting us. Because the more we can release into the support, we recognize what's left that's not releasing, or what might be, I like to think, withholding, but the muscles that are staying tight. So just pausing there for a moment. And because we're working with the joints, just acknowledge. We'll go through the joints starting from your ankles. Say good morning, good afternoon, good evening to your ankles, your knees, right and left, and your hips, the lovely legs, the jewels of the spine. And then say hello to your wrists. Image or experience your elbows and your shoulders, feeling your hands and arms as your extension of your heart. And come into the center of your body. Place your right hand on your belly and your left hand on your heart. Just imagine that you can breathe up and down your spinal column. If it's comfortable, breathe in and out of your nose. And notice the natural way our body expands and goes outward and upward as you're breathing in. And that falling back in or down as you breathe out. Think of the breath in as the levity, and the breath out as the gravity. And if you have any particular joint today that's grumpy, I have a few I can choose. Take a moment to say something nice to them, offer them some sort of comment that would be helpful and kind. It's always good to practice with ourselves, and then we'll find we're better at doing that with others as well. Let's say hello. This will be a very playful movement, and it's going to be to a little bit of a sing-song wording that I put together, and let's try it so we get those words down. So let's take just your left leg first, and the first thing we do is a reach out. So imagine reaching out from your leg and your hip, and then the next movement is a pull in. So you're going to take that whole leg. So think I'm in extension right now. I'm going to go to flexion, and then the flexion is my hip, my knee, and my ankle. I can even draw my ankle in. So there's the pull in, and then there's a drop out. I'm going to drop out to the side. And if it's more comfortable, you can do that with your foot on the floor. And then a roll in. So the roll in, you can have foot on the floor and take it like this, so internal rotation. Or if you want to lift it up, it's all up to you. So the words again are reach out, pull in, drop out, roll in. So let's start with that left leg. If you'd rather take your right leg long, you can do that too. I'm going to go ahead and do that. So reach out through the left leg, reach even your toes, pull in, drop out, and drop in. Let's say we want to add our breath and you want to forget the words. That's up to you. You can inhale and reach, exhale, pull, inhale, drop out like gravity, take that leg, and exhale, roll across the center of your body. Let's do two more with the left leg. Reach out and feel your hip too. Pull in, even the ankle if you'd like. Drop out and roll in. And I'm just letting my head move a little bit too. One more time, reach out, pull in, drop out, and roll in. And think of those juicy joints. All right, so our left leg is kind of woken up. Maybe you can feel that. Let's do the same thing with our arms. So take your left arm. You're going to reach out where I find a black lab. And then the pull in, you can either just take your elbow or your hand. I like to draw my elbow so I'm shortening the left side body. You can do it however you want. And then I'm going to drop out and roll in. Take the arm across my body. Let that shoulder blade lift. So reaching overhead, pulling in, dropping out, and I press my shoulder blade into the ground for a little more sensation. And then lift the shoulder blade and roll. So you'll notice your whole shoulder girdle's moving and your upper spine a little bit. Again, reach out, lengthen the left side, pull in, shorten the left side, drop out, and you can feel a little stretch in the front of the shoulder, and roll in. Upper back gets a nice little stretch on the left side. Last one with just the arm. Reach out, pull in, think of the joints in that arm. I've been doing a lot of painting, so I have a lot of arm discomfort, grumpiness right now, so this feels good. And not the clever kind of painting, by the way. It's the exterior house kind of painting. So, all right, so now that we have those two, we're going to put them together. So visualize your whole left side of your body if you had a plumb line coming up the center. And as you're breathing in, reach through the left foot and leg and hip and the left arm. There's your reach out, pull in, drop out, both arm and leg. And when you go to do the roll in, you can just come to here or you can push into the foot and go all the way onto your right side. Just depends where you want to go. If you're doing it to your breath, inhale, reach. Exhale, pull. Inhale, drop open. And exhale, roll. Inhale, reach. Exhale, pull. If you want a little more core here, you can lift your head up and squeeze those abdominal muscles. Inhale, open. And exhale, roll. Let's do one more with this side. Inhale and reach. Get as long as you can through that left side. Breathe into your left lung. Exhale, squeeze it out. Maybe you lift your head. Inhale, open out to the side. And exhale, roll. And come back. Pause with both legs long. I'll just take 10 magical seconds to be present and feel yourself where that plumb line is up the center of the body. Notice your left and your right, and just how your joints feel in the two sides, or if one leg feels longer, shorter. This is that big word we use, interoception, but this idea that we can feel ourselves from the inside. And we do all the time. We feel ourselves when we're hot or cold or hungry or have to use the bathroom. But feeling your muscles, your joints. And then we'll do the right side. So if it's more comfortable, you can bend your left knee to do this, but you're going to reach through the right foot and hip. We'll do just the leg first. And then pull it in, drop it out, and roll it in. So inhale and reach the right leg and hip. Feel that right side body get long. Exhale, pull it in and think foot. So foot, knee, and hip are all flexing. Drop it out, feel the inner thigh stretch, and roll it in. Feel your back muscles, your upper back, and your butt cheek and your right side get a little stretch there. Let's do two more with just the leg. Reach out, pull in, drop out, and roll in. Here we go. So last one with the leg, actually. Let's do one more. Reach out, pull in, drop out, saying nice things to your joints, and roll in. Let's do just the arm for a few. And sometimes, one arm will be happier than the other, right? So acknowledging that. This is my grumpy arm and hand from painting. So I'm going to reach slowly with the right arm, reaching out and pulling in. And you might notice now from this side, as I'm pulling in and my right waist is shortening, my left waist is lengthening. Then I'm going to drop it out to the side and roll it across my body. So the other thing that can be helpful is pick a center point in your body, maybe just around the navel center. Reach away from that center, pull into that center, drop away from that center, and cross that center. So reaching out, pulling in, dropping out, and rolling in. All right, whole right side, we're ready to go. Visualize yourself from the toes to the fingers, anything to the right of the spine. Inhale, reach out. Notice your left side is compressing as your right side lengthens. Exhale, pull in. Inhale, drop out. Exhale, roll in. And you can just take your arm and your leg, or I like to roll all the way over, feeling myself come onto the left side of my head. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, pull in. Inhale, drop out. Exhale, roll in. If you don't want to say the terms to yourself, you don't have to. Whatever gives you more of a felt sense. But be playful, reaching out. And then if you want to add a little lifting here, feel a little more crunch in the abdomen, draw your navel center in. Release that as you drop out. And then you'll feel your core muscles will have to help you to roll over too as you exhale. Let's do 2 more on this right side. Reach out. Pull in. Drop out. And roll in. Last one. Acknowledging that whole right side of your body. Reaching. Drawing in. Dropping out. Let gravity take that outer knee and your arm. And then rolling across. And coming back. So we're going to make it a little more interesting. Hopefully you found the movements doing one side at a time. But now as you lay still, be in the space of your center and your torso, wherever you feel that, around the navel, above or below. And then visualize your left leg and hip and your right shoulder and arm. So we're going to do the same movement, but we're going to do opposite sides of the body. So a cross body pattern. So on a breath in, if you're doing it to your breath, reach through left hand and right arm. There's your reach out. Exhale, pull in left knee to right elbow. So you can stop here, or if you want to lift up, you can do that. Drop out left leg and right arm. And then here comes the fun one. We'll take a little rotation. As you exhale, take the left leg across and the right arm across. And notice how the pelvis is rotating to the right and the shoulders are rotating to the left. So you get a nice little rotation through the spine there. All right, so that's that movement. Left leg, right arm reaching. So reach from your center point. Exhale, draw in. Drop out. And take that roll in to a rotation. Have fun with it. Let's do 3 more. Reaching and drawing in. Dropping out. Let gravity have its way with you. And then use those core muscles to roll yourself. Feel your shoulder, the back of the shoulder open, the back of the left buttocks. Reaching out. Pulling in. Again, you can keep foot on the floor here, dropping out and rolling in. All right. And notice how it was a little bit different when we're changing sides. We're doing one side up on the lower body and the other side on the upper body. And then pause again, even just for 5 seconds, just to feel, be present in your body, land, see if everything's releasing. And visualize the space in your body from your right toes through your right hip and buttocks, and the left fingers through the shoulder. And next time you take a nice breath in, like you're taking a big yawn, reach as far as you can through right leg and left arm. And notice how the upper left waist is stretching while the lower right waist is stretching. And then as you breathe out, draw in, squeeze. You can squeeze elbow towards the knee. I like to pull my foot in too. Breathe in, drop the arm out and the leg out. And then breathe out and roll. Right hip goes to the left, left shoulder goes to the right. You can start small. Think of all these joints, the fluidness of the joints. You want to make them juicy. Squeeze in, drop out, and roll. So the roll almost becomes, it does become a twist now, right? Reach out, pull in, drop out. So you can see how I could do this in bed, really easily. Some of the versions we won't be able to, but this one, let's take one more round. Works really well when you're first waking up. Reach out, pull in, drop out, just getting some movement in the joints, and roll in. Come back to the center and pause. And I'm going to flip over onto my abdomen where I'll have a snoring dog to keep me company. You might even hear that snoring. He's in training, by the way, but he's doing a fabulous job, isn't he? So you'd think that we drugged him or something, but really it's just a nice walk in the morning. All right, so coming on to our front side, we're going to do the same thing. We're not going to do a cross body, but we're going to do the same movement. So let the front body release into the ground, tops of the thighs, the front of the pelvis, wherever your arms want to be to start. We're going to do we'll do just the right leg first. So the reach is the same. It's just you're on your front body. So reach the right leg. And now the thing is you can use the floor for feedback. So push the top of the foot, reach the big toe back. And the pull in, you want to draw your hip up and in, but also bend the knee. Take the ankle into what we call dorsiflexion, so top of the foot towards the shin, and squeeze the heel or the back of the heel towards your leg. You can even, if you want a little more sensation on this one, lift the thigh off the ground. So that's going to engage your hamstrings and your glutes more. That's up to you though. So that's there, and then we drop out. So notice when we drop the foot out, what we're doing is we're internally rotating the thigh. So you might get a nice little stretch in the back of the hip. And then we roll in, which means we're externally rotating the hip. So that's movement for the leg. Reach out, draw in, drop out, and roll in. And I just sort of let the rest of my pelvis and my body respond, the torso. Let's do two more with just the leg. Reach out, draw in, drop out, and roll in. It's the same movement. We're just different space and gravity with our front side down, right? Reaching out, lengthen the right side, feel the left side shorten. Draw in. You can use those hamstrings and glutes. Drop out. There's your internal rotation of the hip. And roll in. And let that go. We're going to just do two with the arm to see what the movement is, and we'll put that together. So I may need to leave a little more room between me and Labo. So we'll do just the right arm. Your reach is just that. Like I'm reaching for the lab. I'm going to reach my arm, lengthen through the side body, that right side body in the armpit. And then the draw in, what you can do is just touch the top of your back if that feels okay. So I'm going to give you a couple of options. You can just touch the back and notice how that stretches your shoulder. If you want a little bit more, you can lift the shoulder up. So that's more muscular action. You might even lift your head if you want to go into a back bend. It's all up to you and what your practice likes to do. So you can come all the way up here. And then we drop out, just slide that arm out. And let's start with just sliding. And then roll in. You're going to take the arm across your body, wherever it goes. So it might just come to here. And release. So do the arm again. Reach out. Draw in. Drop out. So now the drop out is the easy part. And pull in. But let's say we want to add a little bit more once we get the leg going, because we're going to add the leg into this. So visualize your whole right side. Reach long through the right side like you're climbing up a wall and you're standing on your right toes. Draw in like you're trying to touch your toes. You can lift up here if you want. Drop out, foot and arm. So when I'm dropping out now, I want to go a little further. So I'm going to push into my left hand and actually roll onto that right side. So that's going to give the head of my right shoulder, the front of the shoulder, a little more stretch, and that right hip. And then I come back and just the opposite. On the roll in, I'm going to take it all the way over. So stretch the front of the shoulder again. So just be playful with it, however it works for you. Right side stretches. Right side squeezes in. Right side opens out to the right. And then we roll. So you could go all the way if you want. All the way to the left, rolling. Reach out as you breathe in. Pull in as you breathe out. Drop out as you breathe in and roll as you breathe out as far as you want to go. So you can see I'm getting a little more active here. Let's do 2 more on this side. Reach through the right side. Pull in through the right side. Drop out. You can roll, pressing into your left arm a little bit. And roll the other way. I'm lifting my head just because I have a microphone on, but you want to just let your head roll and then drop. All right, let's pause there for a moment. Just pause to feel wherever you want your arms. Sense the right side of your body and the left side of your body. So as we hit about the halfway point, are you saying nice things to yourself, particularly to your joints? Remember, we become what we think. So loving kindness to any of the places in your body that might be making themselves known. And then let's switch sides. So visualize your left leg from the toes to the hip, through the waist. Reach out through the left leg. Draw in, and your draw in, you can just squeeze the heel towards the buttocks. That alone, you're going to feel your hamstrings and your glutes, or you can lift the leg. That's up to you. Drop out, so you're going to drop the left foot out to the left side. There's your internal rotation. And then roll in, and now you can really feel your thigh. Feel the top of the thigh bone roll as you drop your heel to the right. Let's do that again. Just the foot. Reach out. Draw in. Drop out. And roll in. One more with just the foot. Reach out. Draw in. Drop out. And roll in. All right. And let's add the arm in. So we'll go right into the full movement now. So visualize the left side from toes to fingers, fingers to toes. Reach the whole left side like you're crawling up a wall, standing on your left toes. There's your reach out on inhale. Pull in. You can do just leg. You can touch the top of the shoulder. You can lift up if you want. Drop out, left arm to your side, left leg drops out to the left, and then the roll in. Take your leg across and your arm. So arm can go across the body, feel the front of the shoulder stretch. Reaching out. I like to imagine I'm swimming. It's a big swim stroke here. Pull in. Drop out. So use the floor as much as you can, both for support and for feedback. What does it feel like? Again, I'm having to lift my head, but otherwise feeling yourself in the way you're letting your head roll. So keep that neck nice and loose. Reach out. Pull in. I'm going to go a little further now. I might drop out. I'm going to go ahead and push and roll onto the left side. And same thing. Then I'm going to roll in all the way to the right, as far as you want to go. And then you really get into that hip as well, the front of the hip. Release that. Let's do 2 more on the left side. Are you still on your mat? I feel like I'm crawling off of mine. Left side reaches. Pull in. Drop out. And roll in. This is probably the most physical one on their front body. Last one. Reach through the left. Pull in. Maybe lifting up here. Drop out. And roll in. Be playful with those joints. Take it down. Pause for a moment. We're going to come up to a sitting position, but just pause on your belly if you'd like. Roll your pelvis around. Maybe notice your heart. Sometimes just by putting our left ear down to the ground, we can even feel and hear our heart. Be in the presence of your heart space. And send some of that overflowing love into any of those crabby joints. Press into your hands. Come on up. We're going to do a short seated version here before we go to standing. So finding a comfortable seated position. If you want to sit against a wall, because it's more comfortable for your back, please do that. Or if you want to skip the seated position, you can go right up to the standing. We'll take the legs out in front of us. Come onto your sit bones, stacking ears over your shoulders and shoulders over your hips. So we want a nice tall spine. We'll start, and you can also take your hands behind you, at least for now. So we'll start with the left leg and do the reach. Same thing here, reach out. So notice how the whole hip slides and the right hip slides back. Pull in, drop out, and drop in. Let's do that again. Reach out, pull in, and when you drop, you can either keep the leg lifted, you're going to use more muscular energy that way, or drop onto the foot. Drop out. And notice as I roll in, I like to rotate the whole torso to the right. Roll in. Let's do one more with the leg. Reach out. Pull in. You can even round your spine. Drop out. Roll in. So we're going to be adding the arms, but let's do, before we add the arms, let's just, if you're leaning back on your arms, let's try to do that same movement twice without the arms, because you'll notice how you're going to have to use a little bit more core. So connecting, what I think of as connecting your arms and legs to your core center, the periphery, to the center of your spine, right? So with your hands up, give it a go to reach out long as you breathe in, pull in as you breathe out, drop it out, and then rotate using your core. One more of those. Reach out. You can have your heart come forward. Pull in. So let your spine move too. Drop out. And roll in. All right. So we're going to go right into a crossbody pattern with this one. So the hand, we're going to be doing the right hand. So the right hand would be the reach out. You can do it with me. And the pull in, you can just draw down. Think of pulling that elbow down like we did when we were laying on the ground and shortening your right side body. Drop out. So the right hand, you're going to look behind you. And then roll in. You're going to rotate your shoulders to the left. So when we do this with the opposite leg, you're going to get that same rotational feeling that we got when we were on our back when we did opposite sides. First, just visualize your left leg and right arm, left side of the pelvis, right side of the shoulder and upper back. Reach out. And when you draw in, you can keep your left hand on the ground for more support or lift it up. Squeeze in. Drop out. And when we roll in, if you want to take that into a rotation, come all the way around. You might even, options, step the left foot over the right and come into rotation. Up to you. Be playful. Reaching, left leg, right arm. Drawing in, opening out, and rolling. So your call. Reach out as you breathe in. Pull in as you breathe out. Drop out as you breathe in. And I'm going to step over. So we do seated rotation as we breathe out. Let's do two more. Reach out. Pull in. Drop out. Notice how your pelvis is going one way and your shoulders are going the other. And roll in. Last one. It feels good. Reach out. I'm noticing I'm warming up a little bit. Pull in. Drop out. Roll in. All right. So you feel a little more fluid now through your spine, not only your arms and legs, but getting the whole torso moving. Pause for a second before we do the other side. Be present in your body. If you had an intention for yourself, remember your intention. Say it from your heart and spread it like a seed into all of your joints. We'll be working with the right leg this time. So visualize the right leg. Reach out. Draw in. So I can use my hands to support myself or I can use my core. Draw in. Drop out. This is my grumpy side. And roll in. Just the leg first. Reach out. Draw in. Drop out. And so if you want that little extra push, you can push into your foot. You also might have your hands back here. That's fine. Roll in. 2 more. Reach out. Draw in. The one thing I'm trying not to do, though, is to use my arms to draw my leg in. I want to use my leg muscles. Drop out. And roll in. All right, let's add the arm in. So we're going to do the crossbody pattern. So see yourself through your right leg and your left arm, and think right hip and low waist or low back, left shoulder and upper back. Reaching through left hand and right toes. Pull in as you breathe out. Drop out and see. Your head usually follows your arm, but it might want to go the other way. That's up to you. Drop out and roll in. So my first rotation, I like to just keep the foot to the inner side of the left leg. Little bit less sensation there. Reach out, get tall through your spine. Exhale, draw in. Drop out. And now on the roll in, if you want to go a little further, you can go through the rotation of your spine. Next one, I'll step the foot over. Reach out. Draw in. Drop out. So upper body going to the left, lower body to the right. And then the roll in, just the opposite. Upper body to the right, lower body, the pelvis stays set. And release. Let's do 2 more on this side. Reach out. Draw in. Drop out. Make it a nice little dance. Roll in. This one doesn't work as well in bed, though, unless you have a really firm mattress. Reach out. Last one. Pull in. Drop out. And roll in. All right, so those are the first 2 versions, lying down. We did on our front and our back side. And we're going to do the same thing now, standing in the standing version. If you feel like you want to do it standing, but you're a little bit too wibbly, wobbly, you can take a hand to the wall. It's not cheating, just helping yourself a little bit. And we're still getting the benefits of proprioception, turning the brain on to let ourselves feel deeply where our body is in space. That's the idea of proprioception. The brain is saying, where are we? Where's our balance, right? So we really help that a lot. And it's also good for our bones to do a little bit of this standing. So when you're ready, come on up with me. So we're on our feet. So let's send some loving energy down to the feet. Maybe just play the toes like little piano keys, lift them up. You want to feel yourself from your feet. So if you have shoes on, I recommend taking them off, although you could do this at work with your shoes on as well. And rock from left to right, just to feel. Notice how much you have to shift your pelvis to let your weight go into one leg and then the other, because we'll be doing a little bit of that. So we're going to go right into same side of the body, both arm and leg with the same motion we've been doing. So visualize your entire left side. Again, see that plumb line coming up the center of your spine and everything to the left. So now we're going to do the reach out. You can take your left leg behind you. I like to do that because then we're stretching the hip flexors, which generally need it. But you can also step out to the side. You could step forward wherever you want. So you're going to reach out through the left side, wherever that leg wants to go. And the reach could be straight forward. It could go, I do more of an angle because I'm just trying to lengthen through my left side. Play with that for yourself. And then now the pull in gets a little trickier, right? Because our weight is going into our right foot. So the pull in, if you're not comfortable lifting your leg and squeezing, again, right hand could be at a wall, but you could also just do it with your toes on the ground. But I prefer leg to a wall or squeeze here. Now the same thing, the drop out gets a little bit trickier. You're going to take your arm and your leg out to the side, but you could do it with your toes on the ground. There's nothing saying you can't, right? Now you know what's next. We're going to roll in. So the arm and the leg, you could slide your foot and come over. Or if you keep working on the balance, slowly take it across. That's it. See where you want to go with it. Hand to a wall, foot stays on the ground as much as you want. Reach out. Left side long. Pull in, feel your spine come into flexion. Drop out and roll in. That nice strong right leg is supporting you. Reach out. Pull in. Drop out and roll in. Let's do one more for that beautiful left side. Think of your joints, but now we've got that stability coming from our right leg as the left side plays. Reach out. Pull in. Drop out. And roll in. All right. Thank you, right leg, for holding me. We're going to continue on, but we'll do the right side. So pause again and just feel. Pause to feel yourself through your left leg and foot, through your right leg and foot. Notice if there's any difference. And a lot of times we might touch the muscles in these movements, but more importantly, our brain is connecting with these spaces in the body. What we call our body mapping. We have a clearer map of where our left foot and leg is. And let's do the opposite side. So feeling your right side all the way from the toes to the fingers, wherever you want to take that right leg, to the back, to the side, to the front, doesn't matter. But reach the right arm and right leg. There's your reach out. If you're doing it to your breath, that's your inhale. Pull in, so you could have that left hand on a wall, or you can also just leave the toes down, but I like to squeeze it in. Out to the side, drop out, and roll in. So again, the roll in could be here, foot to the floor, right? If you're not using a wall, or if you're challenging your balance, go for it. Reach out, draw in, drop out, roll in. Most of us have one leg we're better at balancing on than the other. You might notice that. Reach out, pull in, drop out, and roll in. Notice how strong that left leg is. So those joints that we were moving, now we're activating the muscles around the joints in the left leg. Your ankle, your knee, your hip. Reach out, draw in, drop out, roll in. And balance is so important. They say we lose quite a bit of our balance starting at the age of 50. So I hit that a while ago. And you want to keep it by challenging yourself. If you're feeling really good about this, you can do it with your eyes closed. Roll in. Last one. Reach out. Draw in. Drop out. And roll in. All right. Taking that foot down just in time. So coming back to a place where you feel yourself through both legs. Feel your balls of your feet, the heels, lift the arches a little bit. We're doing that same movement, but we're going to do it in the cross-body pattern. So visualize your left foot and leg and your right hand and arm. And then the connection point. So left foot and leg means lower left back and hip. Right arm means upper right back and shoulder. And when you're ready, reach out. You might have your left hand to a wall. Pull in. Drop out. So you're going to opposite sides. Left leg out to the left, right arm out to the right. And then the draw in becomes another rotation. Remember, we did this on the ground, right? So it's always helpful to think, I already did this. We did the same movement. The difference was we had the ground to support us, right? But our body knows the movement. So you're reaching out just like you were on the ground. We had the floor for feedback. Now the floor feedback is underneath that right foot. So pay attention to that right foot. Keep the knees soft. Draw in. Drop out. And roll in. Let's do two more. Reach out. Draw in. Notice cross body. Open up. And roll. Shoulders to the left. Hips to the right. Last one. Reach long. Make space through the left side, right side. Draw in, open up, and roll. Take it down, relax. You might even feel a little fatigue in your right leg if you've been standing on your right leg. That's when I remind myself, it's good for your bone density. Let all the weight go into one leg and let those bones rebuild themselves. And switch your weight into your left leg. Center your right leg and left arm. So we're going to go crossbody pattern. You can feel yourself from your center. Like if you were a 5-point star with your arms and your legs and your head, you're going to reach out through that left arm and right leg from the center of your star. Reach out. And then squeeze to the center of your star. Pull in. Drop out. You can feel that nice inner groin stretch. Arm coming out to left. And roll in. Cross. Shoulders to the right. Hip to the left. Drop it down. Maybe you got your right hand on a wall. Reach out. Draw in. Drop out. And roll in. And I just keep reminding myself, I already did this. But boy, it changes when we're standing, right? Reach out. Draw in. But what's familiar? Try to find what's familiar. The muscles are responding the same as you were on the ground, but for the fact that they're figuring out how to balance you. Let's do 2 more. Reach out. Draw in. Drop out. Make a funny face. And roll in. Last one. Reach out. Crunch it up. Open it up. Left hand, right leg. And there's the rotation. Take that foot down. We'll finish today's practice standing, just kind of a standing land and locate, because oftentimes we do landing and locating on the ground, but so much of our time during the day we're spent on our feet. So if you're comfortable to closing your eyes, I would invite you to close your eyes. And again, just let your weight shift from right to left as I hold space for you. Feel the stability of your body as a whole. And then we'll feel each joint. And the perfect relationship in a joint, the perfect marriage, is one between stability and mobility. So this practice initially was playing with our mobility, and then we found our stability standing. So going through each joint again, first recognizing your feet, those placeholders for the earth. Sense your ankles, the right and the left. Feel your knees, fronts and the backs and the sides of the knees. Thank you, knees. Coming up into your hips, feel the joint where the leg joins into your torso. And all around the entire pelvis, the front, the backs, and the sides. And then switch your awareness into your hands and arms. Feel your fingers, your wrists. Sense the right elbow and the left elbow. Right shoulder, left shoulder. Where is your body in space? And what does it feel like to be in these places in your body? And then come into your center, wherever you feel it, above or below the navel. Maybe you find your center in your heart today. Maybe you want to place your hands wherever you find your center. We'll take 3 rounds of breath, breathing into that center space. That's your home for your place of awareness. As you breathe out, see that energy going all the way through your body, down to your toes, through your arms to your fingers, and upward through the neck and into the head. So back to that vision of a 5-point star. Breathe into your center, your home for your awareness. Breathe out and send some of that energy, that loving, kind, centered energy throughout your body to to the toes, the fingers, and the crown of the head. If you'd like, take one more full round of breath, just imaging or experience yourself from your center, breathing into your center. And as you breathe out, feel everything just melt around the center. The muscles are relaxed and the bones are holding us up. This posture is naturally stable, but there's also a sense of freedom as the joints find their most opportunistic alignment, a space of grace and comfort. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope to see you again next Saturday. Peace, joy, love, and light, and have fun with your joints.